Hello, how everybody doing today? And welcome to another episode of Shave and a Haircut. I'm your host, Kenneth Tramble, and it's my co-host, Latonya Davis Tramble. She'll be doing the narrating what's going on today. I want to welcome you guys. Welcome you guys to it. I'm going to do a recap on what we had for the last episode, which were the laws that were put down by our current governor that allowed several changes to take place. And what I'm going to do is that's going to be a four-part series that I'm going to do one at a time. That I'm going to show you guys how laws can affect, how it can change our kids. So it's going to be a four-part series, guys. It's going to be 4 parts. Every other Friday, I'll talk about it, and on which one I'll talk about first, I have no idea yet. But when I get to that idea tonight, after I get off this episode, I'll update it and let you guys um, be apprised of what we got going on and what we're going to be doing in the next 4 series about those laws that's going to affect our juveniles. It's going to affect our state and city. So, without further ado, guys, I'm going to get started. This week's episode is dealing with gun violence in our community. Gun violence in our community. There's several things that are going on around here, guys, that we gotta take a long look at ourselves as families, as parents, as community leaders, and law enforcement, churches, neighborhoods, and we got to do something about what's going on in our neighborhoods. It is getting out of hand. It is getting to a point where your kids can't go stand outside and play basketball no more. They can't even go to the neighborhood store. They can't even ride in the car with friends. They can't even go outside and just have a little conversation with their girlfriend because people are coming by these days and they're just using this thing right here, guys. This is a prop. It's fake. It's not real, but it's a prop. They're using these things, man, and it's creating havoc and it's creating um, lawlessness just about, man. Because the way these kids are just using these things, it's just it's like they're playing. I don't know if they think they're playing Call of Duty. I don't know if they think they're playing Grand Theft Auto, or I don't know what they think. I don't. You can't reset that bullet when it comes out this chamber. You can't unplug the machine and think it's going to start over. It's not. When that bullet leaves this chamber and it leaves this chamber, it creates a lasting a lasting impression on the family. I've done this demonstration for I don't know how many times. And hopefully you guys will understand this demonstration and take it to heart. Okay. I've always said this here could change 2 lives. I've always said it. But you can also change 2 generations with this one obstacle, this one gun right here. Just say, for instance, that the guy or the young lady, because young ladies are starting to shoot now, and they're shooting guns as well. So just take for instance that the young lady or 2 young men get into an incident and they are the babies of the family. Okay, one last name Smith, one last name Jones. All right, Smith and Jones get into an altercation uh, maybe a month ago, and Smith got the best of Jones. And Jones, right now, the day and age, these things right here now, when you get into a fight, it's broadcast all over where everybody can see it. So Smith loses the fight to Jones. Jones get upset, and 4 months down the line, see Smith in the mall, sits outside the mall and waits for Jones to come outside. Jones comes outside. Smith takes the gun, shoots Jones. Okay, kills Jones with this gun. Now I told you one bullet can alter 2 lives, right? So by 2 generations, I mean. Simple fact, the reason is if Jones is dead, he can't reproduce any more Jones because he's the baby of the family. So that Jones, that whole seed, that whole generation stops with him. Smith ends up going to Angola for the rest of his life. So that Smith generation is gone. One shot, one bullet took two lives, two generations in just one shot. And then I take it even further. You know what I'm saying? Say he's in jail, right? What you got to understand is and worry about is Jones's family retaliating on Smith's family. It can be done all kinds of ways. Like I said, I worked in the jail for a little while, and we had a guy get jumped on because of something that their kids did. Matter of fact, it was a man, an older man. So the respect level is gone. And it was an older gentleman that got jumped on, got his jaw broke just because of something that his child did in the neighborhood. So that's why I'm trying to get you guys to see that, when you do stuff like that, it affects people farther down the line than you know. It has lasting impressions on what's going on farther down the line than you know. You're gonna have to We're gonna have to just get together as a group, as a society, as Monroe, Washita Parish, Calhoun, West Monroe, surrounding areas, and we got to come up with a consensus to find out, what's going on. Don't let this be your child. Don't let this be your child behind this gun. I just got off a call from my sister. She was all the way in Texas and found out about the shooting that just happened today over at by Walmart at the gas station. I don't know what happened, what it was about. I don't know why it transpired, but they said it was about maybe 10, 15 shots, maybe more than that. So now you one thing about these bullets, guys, when you shoot these bullets, there's nobody over there catching them and dropping them on the ground. There's nobody holding on to them in the sky and saying, okay, well, I'm not gonna let it come down. It's gonna keep going till it hit an object. So thank God that it didn't go in the direction of Walmart where people were shopping or catch somebody coming out shopping outside the mall and walk out of Walmart. So we gotta really have a long talk with what's going on in society. We need to get together with all entities, all mentors, all organizations, the Black Chamber, anybody that's got ideas, any solutions. We need to have a sit down where we can meet at MVP Robinson Red. We can meet at. I'll meet you anywhere because it has to be it has to be a chance. Now the problem is we know we can't be individuals. We got to be a team. We can't get up here and say I'm gonna do something and then you want to do it and put it on your page and be individual. It has to be a group of people. We got to come together as a whole organization, as a whole state and whole city of Monroe, and have a conversation. We got to have it, guys. We got to. This is getting to the point. Now I was gonna this gun violence. I put this on Facebook maybe a week ago. I didn't know there was gonna be a shooting today, so it had to be God sent for me to be talking about this subject, and you have a shooting today. You know, now you got to understand that shooting today is gonna probably end up transpiring to another one because two people got shot in this incident. I don't know how many was in the car, but two people got shot. So now it's gonna be a retaliation factor that we got to look at now. Now you got to worry about where your child's at when they're not around. Now you got to worry about is he where he's supposed to be at. Now you got to worry about him even him walking down the street and being mistaken for the person that did the shooting. This is the dilemma that we have and we have to deal with as parents and as leaders and mentors and organizations that want to seriously help the community. I'm talking about seriously help the community. I'm not talking about getting on here a lot and just talking. It is time for us to take back what belongs to us, which is our community. And sometimes it takes just a conversation with these kids, man. We gotta see what's going on. We gotta see who's the shy caller. We gotta see who's the person that's got these kids behaving the way they behave. And we gotta have a conversation. Look, man, we don't want to be having something at a park or an organization and somebody's child end up getting innocently shot because you out here or you and your friends out here trying to make bad in the neighborhood. And that goes back to me telling your parents to make sure that you know your kids know who their friends are before they even get in the car with this person. Before they even go down the street with this person. You need to know what this guy has done. You need to know if he's got any issues with anybody in the neighborhood. You need to know what's going on with his life. And if he's a true friend and he's doing this kind of stuff, he shouldn't even be around you, especially if you that type of kid that's trying to go to school and get your education. Don't try to fit in. Fit out. Don't get into it with a person when all you got to do is just walk away. Because I'm a firm believer. I've always said, once that person pulls this gun out, there's no putting it back. He is not gonna put it back. I don't think there's no way he's gonna change his mind by you talking to him. I don't think there's no way you could persuade him that you're sorry because he's already got it out. It's on his mind to use it. Now we gotta get to the point before he pulls this out. We gotta get to the point to find out what we can do to prevent him from pulling it out. Is it a conversation that has to be had with y'all when you're having a conversation, or if you getting into an incident where you think it's gonna get out of hand? That's when you're supposed to walk away. If something's going on and you hearing that there's such and such Mr. Popcorn coming to the corner to start something with you, and you already know it, don't go to the corner. Or don't go to the dance knowing that somebody's out there looking for you. Don't go to them places. Don't get caught hanging out in a place you ain't supposed to be. If you know somebody's out there looking for you. If somebody's out there looking for you, you need to have a conversation with your mom and get some folks involved. Be it law enforcement, somebody. Like I said, I'd rather you tell than not tell to be dating. And that's one of the biggest issues that we got going on. We got kids that are I don't know if they're scared to tell or they think it's not hard to tell on folks. But look, you guys gotta realize your life is worth something. You got to say you have to help us save you. We can't do it by ourselves. If something's going on, we need to know. If something's out there in the neighborhood and it's a word out on the street that somebody's coming to get you or coming at you, and you don't even know what you've done, you need to have a conversation. You need to talk to folks. All right. We're gonna read I'm gonna read you some but my wife's gonna read you some stats. She's gonna read that first one. I want you guys to pay attention and listen what she's saying about this. Now, this is in Louisiana, only in Louisiana only. Okay.
In an average year, 37,603 people die by guns in the United States. This equates to a rate of 11.4 deaths per 100,000 people.
Did you hear that? 37,000 people die by guns in the United States. It equates to 11.4 deaths per 100 people. So you let that soak in and let that math soak in on what she just said. You let it soak in. And then understand what we're saying. Grasp what we're trying to get you guys to see. Stay focused. Stay away from those people that are not good for you. It's just not a good look to hear about. The only thing I hate is when I'm sitting here and I'm talking to Facebook Live and my podcast, and I don't want to wake up tomorrow and see or hear that somebody's child got hurt, got shot, or got killed when it could have been avoided. When it could have you could have just said, hey, no, you can't go to the dance tonight. The thing about, I know my wife does, and I'm pretty sure moms do. They get a sense for some reason, and my wife does it better than anybody I think I've ever seen. She has a uh, some, I don't know what you call it, but she feels like something's going to happen, and I go with her instincts. I don't say, well, no, 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 let them go out. And I don't know if anything happened that night or anything that happened, but I do know that she has that's the word called discernment. That's what they call it. And where she can just think, she can just feel it. And when she does, I don't go against it. Whatever route she wants to go, we're gonna go that route. We're not gonna go against each other. I'm not gonna go against her. That's what has to happen, parents. You gotta have that sense of worry for your child. You gotta have it. You gotta sit there and you gotta tell them exactly how you feel, exactly what you're thinking at that point in time. Because every parent should worry now when your child leaves to go somewhere. Have you told them what to say? Have you prayed over them? Have you told them, be sure the person you ride with, fully understand that he or she doesn't have any issues with anybody in the neighborhood, or just walking to the corner. Be careful walking to the corner, standing out there, man. We used to back in the day. You used to sit out on the corner all day long. You can't sit out there now. Somebody will drive by and just look at you. You look at them wrong, and then they pull this out. So we gotta keep be mindful and keep our kids uplifted, keep them motivated. Always let them know we love them. Always let them know they can come to us with anything. Because the very minute you don't say nothing to them, guys, they get in the car with a friend, and this friend is riding down the street, listen to his music, looks over to the left and see a guy he got into it about a month ago. Say, there he go right there. Now it's just a choice. You can't you should be like the boys in the hood. Let me out, though. Let me out. Are you gonna be that? Are you gonna be that kid like boys in the hood telling them to let me out? Or you gonna go for it and go with it? That's the question. Are you gonna say let me out, or are you gonna go with him? Are you gonna be that kid? Now you choose to go with him. You choose to get the charge that he's gonna get. So let's think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I want you tell your kids to think about this. You get in the car with a guy. He's driving down 165 south. He looks over to his left over there by the Wasman Shell, sees the guy that he got into it with. Busts a U-turn right there by the Wasman Shell to get back to the Wasman Shell. Goes to the parking lot. Pulls out the gun, shoots and kills the person, and drive off. So that means once he get caught, which he will, it might take a while. Sometimes it take month, years. Sometimes it take 2 or 3 years, but he will get caught. And once he gets caught, and they run back those videos of that parking lot, see you in the car with him, you get the same charge he get. Now, how can we prevent that? I'm glad you asked. How can we prevent that? As soon as you get in the car, should be a conversation had with your friend right then and there. Two conversations. Hey man, you got a gun in this car? Or you got any drugs in this car? He said, yeah. You need to close the door. Tell him have a good day. That's just plain and simple. Plain and simple. Just close the door and just walk away. That's not even hard to do. But we seem to think it's cool to jump in the passenger seat with a guy that's already smoking weed, for one. That's a double. That's one whammy. And he got a gun in the car. It's a recipe for danger, guys. Not even that. He might ain't shoot nobody, but he might accidentally shoot you playing around with the gun. That's happened a couple times. So we I'm telling you guys, we gotta have a conversation with everybody. And I'm willing to go anywhere to talk to anybody, to have a group of people to sit down and honestly, I'm talking about honestly. I'm not playing with, we trying to check the box off. We ain't checking no boxes off. The box has already been checked. It's time for us to do something. It's time for us. No politics involved. No politics involved. I don't need none of that. I don't want people to be running around with social media. We need to do this as a group. All this time out for who's not doing what, who's doing what. If somebody's doing something right, we need to collaborate with that person that's doing something right and get to work. It's just point blank. It just is what it is. We got to speak. I don't care who's doing it. If it's being done right by somebody, we need to be sitting down with that person and picking his brain and trying to see, okay, so is this working for you? And first of all, show me some facts that it's working. And if it's working, we need to duplicate it. We need to reinvent the wheel. Somebody got something working right, let's work with it. Let's roll with it. I'm a firm believer, man. If you sit down and talk to these kids before this stuff gets out of hand, you can fix it. Most of the kids don't have that person even sit down and talk to them about it till they get behind the bars at OCC or RCC. Then you have a conversation with them. That's the first thing they tell you. Man, if I would have had, somebody to tell me that, this would happen if I'd done this, or just even took time with me, I wouldn't be acting the way I'm acting. That is a true fact. I have talked to several folks down at OCC, several of them, and that's exactly what they've said. They were great for a while, and then once they felt unappreciative or some nobody's there, they resorted to go to this. We got one young man down there right now that I know of that just got there for this, kicking the door in and shooting at somebody. So I kind of kicked myself because I wonder if we would have, once we got him right, once he was right in his mind and stuff doing good in school, where was the accountability factor to keep him going right? Where were the people that we could have passed him to keep him going right? That way he wouldn't have picked this up. That's what I'm trying to put together. I'm trying to put together a coalition of people that we can pass the kids to once they get corrected and get their self and their mind right. I want to find, by the way, like I said the first time, this is not real Facebook. This is a fake that I took. Actually, I took from a kid that had a while back that had this. Now you see this. Now this here looks just, if you paint it black, it looks just like a real Glock. So and we got a lot of these out here. They selling, in the stores, and this to get somebody hurt too, just to get somebody killed. So if you got a child that's playing with something like this, take it from it immediately. Do not let him keep it, nor let him take it outside and play in the street with it or nothing. But I'm saying that if if somebody's doing it, like I said, I'm looking for a group of people that's willing to do the relay. We get them right from when they get to from third grade to sixth grade, seventh grade, and I pass them off to somebody that's ready to roll, that's ready to work with them, that's ready to help them. If we pass it, then he or she pass it to the next person. They ready to roll, work with them. Then pass it to that next person. They ready to roll and work with them. Then the last person is the person that does the education part for when you get ready to graduate. Put a plan together. Get him set up for college. You want to go to college, or just get him used to going to, down in Richwood and Walden. They got those trade buildings now. And everything they got in there, you can go. You come straight out making some money, making at least 5 figures. I know, high 5 figures. But until we get this thing taken care of and off the streets, we're gonna always have an issue. We're gonna always have issues, guys. There's no way that we can fix this unless we fix our kids in our community. We got to show them we care. We got to show them that we love them. We got to have opportunities for them. We got to have certain summer jobs for them. We got to have something to keep them busy. Something to keep them uplifted, keep them motivated, so they won't slip out. They won't slip in the cracks and go out there and do something they don't have no business. We have to. If we don't, we're gonna lose them, and we're gonna lose them real fast. They building jails just because of the laws that are being changed. To house a person at the facility is 30. I think it's $30 a day. Might be a little bit less than that. Now come on now, $30 a day. That's a $1 billion industry. I know it's $1 million industry for one. So the jail cell is gonna stay full because you're getting paid for it. 85% of them are Black African American males that are in there between the ages of 18 and I think 30. That's a young age to be in jail. That's a young age to be locked up in prison. So I want you guys to come together. We need to get a group of people together. We need to sit down, talk, and let's get this together. All right, she's going to read another stat. I want you guys to understand and listen, pay attention to it because this is crucial. This is crucial.
In the United States, 61% of gun deaths are suicides and 36% are homicide, while Alaska has the highest rate of all gun deaths in the country. Wyoming has the highest rate of gun suicide, and DC has the highest rate of gun homicide.
Okay, so just like I said, this thing right here can affect and change lives in more ways than one. Suicide, homicide. This is why we have to find a solution to keeping this out of the hands of folks that are not trained to use it, folks that are not certified to use it, even though they have changed the laws. We need somewhere along that line. There should be some training in there. People that want to tote these things. And then parents, she said the suicide aspect for it. That just means you need to lock them up when you at your house. Lock them up, put them up, put them in a safe, lock and key, put a code, or they make the ones now with your finger, with your handprint, but can nobody get in there but you, or the ones that got the codes in it, can nobody get in there but you. But lock them up and put them up. Keep them away from the kids, so they won't be doing anything they shouldn't be doing with it and killing themselves. All right, let's get together. Let's get it. Let's make sure that we can save our kids. Let's make sure that we're there for our kids. Make sure they can come and tell us anything. Let's make sure if they have a gun when they're 18, which like I said, I'll talk about all that in a 4-part series of it. But if they are 18, make sure they got the proper training. Make sure they know how to handle it correctly, use it correctly. Let's not just give somebody a gun and say, okay, you're 18, you can tote the gun now. Let's not even get close to doing that. We're going to have to take our streets back. We're going to have to sit down and have a conversation. We're going to have to form a coalition of people. We're going to have to. And if people in law enforcement don't want to get involved with the community takes care of it, we have to. Let's face the facts, guys. If we don't do it, I don't think nobody will. Let's face the facts. If we don't sit up here and just, if we just sit here and don't do nothing, don't say nothing, that's not no way you can tell me that a shooting happened in broad daylight on Louisville and nobody can say nothing. And I'm not saying they didn't, because they may have. They may have gave a description. I don't know. But that's something that that should be solved right then and there. Somebody should solve something and should have said something right then. If we start doing that, that will stop this from happening at a rapid pace. As I looked on, I saw folks on Facebook and they was just sitting there. Some of them were, had their Facebook on talking, they didn't know what was going on, and they trying to get likes and clicks and stuff like that to make their rating go up. That's not what it's for, guys. You can use their platform for something positive. That should have been a message right then and there being told. That should have been something saying, look, that this is senseless. There's no reason we should have people out here. Guys, if one of you guys that did this, y'all are wrong. This is not how Monroe is supposed to be. This is how Monroe shouldn't be looked at in the community. That's what I'm saying. That should have been a teachable moment right there. You could have been grabbing folks out there, young kids. Hey, you see this out here? Look at this. This is what happens when somebody doesn't have the right attitude or the right training or the right thought process. Because that's what it was. One thing you don't think, you grab this and you don't think you don't even think the process through. We don't. And that should have been a teachable moment for somebody out there on Facebook. That's what they should have been doing. Should have been out there, ooh, child, something going on. They should have been like, you should have went Facebook Live and said, look, this is wrong. That shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't be out here in broad daylight shooting at each other. We shouldn't be trying to take lives. We shouldn't be. But nobody did. At least I looked at it. I didn't. And when I looked at it, I saw different pages and nobody said it. Nobody got up there and said, you know what, this has to change. Now for being a politician, for politics, it's time to go to work. It's time to make some stuff happen in these neighborhoods where kids are safe and parents are not nervous to let them go with places. It has to be an opportunity for something to happen, for some changes to happen. So I'm wondering if somebody's gonna take the torch and come with me. I'm wondering if somebody gonna inbox me and say, "Hey, Mr. Trammell, I'm down with what you want to do. Well, count me in. Where can I fit in on this team? I could be the starting quarterback. I could be the center. I could be the wide receiver. I could be the cornerback, the offensive lineman, block, whatever you want me to do. Put me on the team." That has to happen. We got to get together and make it happen. If we don't, we're gonna lose a lot of more kids this summer. It's gonna get hot. Kids gonna get out of hand. Coach gonna get nervous, and then it's gonna be what I want. What I want now is I'm gonna ask my wife, how does she feel letting her child go out in the neighborhood? And I want her to tell you guys on a mother's aspect how a mother feels, when they wonder when their child is leave the house. Did you tell them everything you're supposed to tell? What you're supposed to tell them, or did you are you worrying on a regular basis? Basically, but give them just a little bit. How you feel? Okay, well, our son's in Texas. So what are your thought process about gun violence and what's going
Uh, well, I worry. Uh, But I pray, tell him to stay calm in any situation, keep his cool, get out of whatever situation if he gets in one, and we'll take it from there. Just be mindful of his surroundings, who he riding with, who riding with him, what time it is, what it looked like, just anything different out the ordinary, and to stay focused because it's bad everywhere. And with him being a black man, I need him to be conscious. From my nephews to my great nephews, they're endangered species, and they on the good team. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. That's a mother's standpoint. You know, she worries every day. So do I. We have to. I'm wondering, do these guys realize what happens and how you affect a life when you take one from somebody? How do you realize that once that bullet leaves that chamber, what it does to a family? What it does? What it does? Hit that knock on the door. You open the door, and that's police standing there, and he's saying, "I'm Officer Trauma. I'm sorry to inform you that your son, Mr. Johnny Johnson, was killed today in front of the store." Now, all types of thoughts gonna go to a mom's mind, and that's what I'm trying to get you guys to see when you pull that trigger. Just think about it. What kind of lasting effect that taking a person's life would cause? Who are the who? What kind of lasting effect? Okay, let's break it down. What I mean by that, what lasting effect? Okay, what if that person has a baby? Okay, so now the daughter or the son doesn't have a father. What if he's married? There's a big void in the family now. There's the man normally is the breadwinner. I'm not saying women don't. Women, if you are, that's fine. But normally the man is the breadwinner. So now the man is gone. So that means there's a void in the breadwinner. There's a void in a man in the house. There's a void in a person that the daughter can come to talk to in case they need to talk to. There's a void with the wife because now she has to put everything and raise the kids over something senseless. Because 9 times out of 10, when this thing comes out, guys, it's something senseless. It's something that don't make no sense. It's something we could have avoided doing. We could have avoided it. Guarantee you. It's something that could have been fixed before you even came to this. And like I said, I'm a movie fanatic, guys. I am, and I watch it all the time. So I like I said, I'm gonna go back to Boys in the Hood when Ricky got shot. Now we're gonna go before Ricky even got shot, right? Let's go even further than that. Let's go to the part where Ricky was standing outside and the guy bumped into Ricky. That started that started this. He bumped into Ricky. Ricky said, "What's up?" The guy said, "What's up?" I shoot, pull Ricky out the way, pull his gun, said, "We got a problem. We got a problem." That started it right there. That started the issue. So, what if he would have bumped Ricky and Ricky wouldn't have said nothing? Same thing when you're in the club. What if somebody would have bumped into you and you didn't say nothing? You just say, "Ah, I let that go. No big deal." Right? But Ricky said something. The guy said something about the Ricky. Ice Cube pulled out the gun. Later on down the line, you saw what happened to Ricky. All right. Now let's go further out. Now Ricky got shot. Ricky got killed. What happened? Doughboy and the other three guys and Trey jumped in the car together to go do what? Go find the people that killed Ricky. Right? They get to a point where Trey decides he don't want to have anything to do with it. What if they would have found the guy before Trey decided to say, Doughboy, let me out? Now Trey had a strong father in the household. So I mean, it's a lot of strong dads that think we got our kids on wrap. We got them down pat. We done told them what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, and we think we got him right. But you saw what happened. You saw what happened. His conscience got the best of him. He jumped in the car with Doughboy. That's the same thing that happens in Monroe, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Lake Charles, all these places in Louisiana. Cool heads. You don't cool your head. You just react. You just jump in the car and you head off with that person. And that's what ends up happening every time. They end up finding, like I said, what if Trey would have got to the place before he told him to let him out? Well, you saw what happened. Doughboy and the other guy shot the guys and killed them. But that's a movie. Now in real life, Doughboy, the other guy, and the boy in the wheelchair would have been charged with murder 3 times. Now, Trey still could have been charged. Because the last time they saw Trey, who he was in the car with? He was in the car with Doughboy them. Now, unless Doughboy them some cool guys and say, well, Trey jumped out about a block ago when we started shooting. You know, Doughboy might not say nothing. Doughboy trying to fend for himself. But we do know that Trey got in the car and rode with him because we saw it. That's my point. Cooler heads didn't prevail. It didn't. Only thing happened was he jumped in the car and they were going to find the people that killed Trey. Movie, but that's real life. So right now, I'm almost about certain that some people right now are riding around trying to find the people that shot them 2 guys at the store. Right now. Looking for them. Looking for the car. Right? So let me ask you this. Let me take that a little further. What if that person borrowed that car? They did the drive-by. And now and took the car back to mama. And mama's driving the car now. And mama's driving the car now. See what I'm saying? So now the guy's driving, there go the car right there. Now you didn't put your mama in a pickle. Your sister, your brother, your cousin, your best friend. That's stuff to think about. Just think about that. That's my point, guys. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to see. And I'm not gonna stop talking until somebody say, "Hey, man, let's get this together." I'm not. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna continue to try to enlighten every kid, no matter what color he or she is, help them see the 12th grade, graduate from 12th grade, head off to college, military, or whatever other field they want to go to. That is the goal. That is what it. That's what's needed. That's what we have to come up with. That's what we got to do. We've got a couple more things to read, and I'll see if we got any questions and answers page. And then if anybody want to answer any questions, she's gonna read two more back to back, and then I'll close it out a little bit with some stuff. I got some stats, and then I'll open it up to the floor.
All right. The rate of gun deaths in the United States increased 18% from 2009 to 2018. During the same time period, the rate of gun suicide increased 19%, and the rate of gun homicide increased 18%. The last one, in the United States, Black people are 2 times as likely to die by guns as their white peers. Across all states, Missouri has the highest rate of gun deaths among Black people, followed by Indiana and Illinois.
So this is what I got you guys to understand. You see it. We don't have to make this stuff up. It is here, and it's nerve wracking. It's it's out there. Here's one for you. In the average year, 976 people died by guns in Louisiana, with a rate of 20.7% per death. 100,000 people, Louisiana has the second highest rate of gun death in the United States. It's not a story, guys. I'm showing you what I see. I'm reading it from this paper. So that, the people that are saying that Louisiana is not dangerous, these are stats that I'm reading from the paper. In Louisiana, 47% of gun deaths are suicide and 50% are homicide. This is compared to 61% and 36% respectively nationwide. The rate of gun deaths in Louisiana has increased 18.7% from 2009 to 2018, compared to 18% increase over the same time nationwide. It is real, guys. It's real. It's out here, and it's here, and we gotta come up with something consensus. All right. We got a question and answer phase. If anybody want to ask me any questions, we'll go with that. Anybody got any suggestions? Anybody want to say anything?
I'm going to read the comments.
Okay.
One comment is making snitching popular again. Another one is got to fix it before law enforcement does. Another one, we got a question. What about this new gun law? How old can you be to carry a weapon?
Okay. Well, I'm going to discuss that in a phase, but it's 18 now. So it's 18 and you can tow the gun. You don't have to have no training. You don't have to have no license. So it's 18 for that question that was answered. That was that. But I'm going to do a series of all those together, one at a time. And I guess that'll be my first one. Since that question was asked, it'll be the 18-year-old carrying guns and what are my thoughts. And you guys can come on and give me your thoughts, your opinions. It's gonna be some folks that's for it. And like I said, I don't have an issue. Listen, I want you to be trained to carry. I want you just to be taught going down the street with it and think you rocking with it because that's it. That ain't how it works. Okay. I promise you carrying a gun. I want you to be trained to carry a gun so you know when to use it, when not to use it, when not to pull it out at all. It's not no showpiece. Not for you to run around the street showing everybody you got one. It's not made for that. Okay. But I want you to know. Any other questions?
No other questions, but the last comment says that really affects our property values.
Absolutely. When people are coming to move to Louisiana, when they're coming to buy stuff from Louisiana, when they're coming to set residence in Louisiana, if somebody's transferring to a job from Louisiana, if I was transferring somewhere else to Louisiana, the first thing I'm gonna do is look at the neighborhood, crime, school. And I want to see what kind of grades the schools have and what kind of grades crime has. That's what I'm gonna look at. And if it's like that and it's not good, well then I don't want to be there. Y'all understand? We gotta come back. We gotta come to a consensus and get this stuff off the street. We got to. There's no way that people could be losing their lives like that at a rapid pace that they're doing. And it's time out to say there's no violence in Monroe because it is. It's time out for that. It's time for us to say, well, we do have a problem. Let's get together and fix it. Let's get together and fix it. Let's have some neighborhood meetings in the neighborhood where it's going on there. Talk to some neighborhood people that's been, it's been people in these neighborhoods been living there for years. I'm talking about years. It's time to go in those neighborhoods and say, hey, pass our fly, we're going to have a meeting. We need to talk. We need to try our best to come together, pool our sources together, pool our ideas together, and let's get it. Let's see what we can fix and what we can fix. There are gonna be people out there that's gonna rebel against it. There are gonna be folks out there that don't want you in their neighborhood, and that's fine and good. But we're trying to help, we're not trying to hurt. We're trying to be that person that you can count on. And it's to this day I can walk anywhere and just about everybody still know what I've done, what I do. So it can be done. We can affect this community the best way we know how. So it is, and we got and what's crazy about it is, I want you guys to think about this. I want you to think about one building that's in every place where crime is there. Think about it. You want me to give you the answer? Church. There's a church building in every location around here. Something that's going on. There's a church building close to every school that's going on. Every school. So it's time for the churches to go in the community, get in these schools, and let's talk. Let's talk. Let's mentor these kids. Let's give them a plan. Let's put a plan together. Success plan for them to make it and not fail. A success plan for them to do what they're destined to do. Some of them don't know what they want to do because it hadn't been brought to their attention. So it's time for us to say, hey, what do you want to do? And once he or she tells her what she wants to do, it's time for us to make it happen. It's time for us to find people that's in that field, pair them with that person, allow that person to walk them through the steps of being a success. It doesn't matter if I get the credit for that. It doesn't matter if you get the credit for that. You get the credit in the long run when they see you months from down the street, months pass, and they walk up to you and say, "Hey, Mr. Trump, I want to thank you for taking the time out to sit down and talk to me and show me Mr. Johnson. This is what I'm doing now. I'm running a successful business. I'm starting my own chapter in my life. I'm married. I got a kid that I want to introduce you to because you changed my life." And that's a true story, by the way.
Happens all the time.
Happens all the time. So it doesn't matter if you get the glory then. You get it. You get it. Every time I see Mr. Brandon Welch over at Brooks's, I just smile. I just smile. Because that young man come through back in the 90s. He listened. He was steadfast. He paid attention. Now he's running Brooks's 165 North. Last year they gave him a truck for having best sales, a F-150. So, when he comes to me and he tells me that, I feel just like I'm his dad. Man, I'm so proud of you. That's what I'm saying. On down the line, when you least suspect it, somebody that you helped, don't remember what you did, not gonna forget it, and gonna be there for you to the very end. That's my hope. That's my prayer. That's what I want you guys to think about. That's what I want folks put in their mind and their heart. Inbox me if you want to be a part of this change. Any suggestions, put it in the inbox. Anytime you want to say to me, we need to get this thing started quick, guys. Summertime is approaching real fast, and it's gonna get hot, and folks gonna get upset and bothered, and they're gonna get mad quick. We got to make suggestions that's gonna help them think about not using this. Think about not pulling this out first. Think before they grab this. Remember what's the effect when you pull this? That you change 2 lives with 1 bullet, 1 shot changes 2 lives. Not only it changes 2 lives, it changes generations. It's a lasting effect that nobody can fix. And remember, tell your kids it's not Call of Duty. This is not Grand Theft Auto. Whatever gun, everything they're playing that's allowing them to use a gun. One thing you cannot do is reset a life. You cannot unplug the remote and start it over. You can't go and grab that bullet out the sky and throw it on the ground and say it wasn't meant for you. I'm sorry. I need to bring that back. My bad. It was meant for such and such. What I mean by specialized training, if you don't have specialized training, guys, unless you're a feet away from somebody, you're gonna miss them every time. You're gonna miss them every time. That's why bullets are all over the place when they have these shootings. Because they have no training. They just stick it out and shoot. And that's my point. And parents, watch your babies. Don't let them be out there when stuff like this happening because they see it to imitate it. They're glorified. They grew up wanting to do the same thing what they saw out in these streets. Watch your babies. Watch your kids. Make sure they understand what's right and what's wrong. Okay? Let them understand this. That this thing right here, this machine of destruction that it's meant for can affect everybody. Parents, know your friend, know your kids' friends. Please, know your kids' friends. Young men and young ladies, know your friends. Know them. Let them know them completely from the beginning to the end. Who they know, who they hang out with, why they hanging out with them, if they got a beef, what kind of beef they got. If they had a problem before you became friends, you need to know that too. Because you can be assumed that that person just by hanging out, guilty by association, as they say. Same way. Know them. Talk to them. All right, guys, that's my show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right. All right. I always say, quit hollering at your kids at night, expect them to sleep right. Quit yelling at your kids before they go to school, expect them to do right. Speak life, speak hope, speak honesty, speak love. See y'all again in next week. Well, and I'm sorry, not next week, but week after next, where we'll talk about our 4 series. Love you guys. Have a good night.